your spirit is only going to hang somewhere after you are unalive, and you're going to come back in another baby. And if you haven't learned, you will continue to suffer, So let me just leave it here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, CJ Ju, for that powerful reinforcements touching on various things. So far, 4 people have indicated their interest to engage with you. Let me explain how the engagement is going to look like. They are the ones with the right to ask you questions. You only ask a question for clarification purposes, but the engagement is skewed in such a way that it's one way. So the people engaging you only ask you questions, but you now have to reply to those questions. Now, they are not going to be friendly. It's just like you are standing in the dock, and they are prosecuting you. They're interrogating you. So they are going to be forceful, some may be gentle, but that is exactly the tone of the engagement. Now, the other thing is this, that the same way they deal with you is the same way you're going to deal with them when it is their turn. Nobody is spared here. That is the reason why Faith Unfiltered is a neutral ground for all people to come. So the only key thing about us is the accountability aspect when they want to find out more, from you. The engagement, we start with Dawuda. Dawuda is a Muslim, and he joins us from Nigeria. After him will be Dakife. Dakife is an atheist. And then after will be Striving and Musang again. 2 other Muslims will engage you. I don't know why the Christians have not yet indicated interest to engage with you, but if there is a Christian in the house who wants to engage, of course, they know how it is done. Simply use a hand emoji, and then, simple one has indicated interest to engage with you. It is now getting interesting. So, Striving said I should remove him from the list. So let Dawuda now begin the engagement exercise. Dawuda, your time.
My sister, good afternoon from here. How are you doing?
Thank you, Dawuda.
You're my sister. Why I called you my sister? Are you Idoma by tribe?
Yes, I am.
Abolema. Anyama. We were together before Kogi was created. I'm actually from Kogi State.
Oh, that would be my mother's place as well, Igala.
Igala, oh fine, that's great. So you see why I called you sister. But this Faith Unfiltered, we need to do what we need to do. The first question I want to ask, you said we can create our own heaven and then we can create our own hell, correct?
Yeah. He's muted. You're muted.
Yes. So what do you when you talk about heaven and you talk about hell, are you assuming the heaven from religious perspective, or what do you really mean when you say heaven?
Okay. Thank you so much. I suppose I am not looking at it from the religious perspective, because the one that was described by the religious leaders were done intentionally to create a fear, an assumption that there's somebody putting a big chair up there, a big eye watching all of us and checking our sins and ticking the boxes and saying, you will go to hell. I'll put you in this place and I'll put this person in that place. Even though the same people told us that God forgives all sins, and they said that even though they said that the wages of sin is death, they also said that Jesus came to save us. Even if Jesus have come to wash away our sin, yet they still say that there's heaven waiting to put people in. So my own idea of creating heaven and earth has nothing to do with the religious lies. It just has to do with knowing fully well from my own experience that we are really powerful being, a person with a body, spirit, and soul.
I don't have that time. I don't have that luxury of time. So you can say I'm actually timed. You see, when today's topic, I think, is a religious topic, and when the religious people say heaven, we mean a place or a reality where you don't grow old, you don't fall sick, you get what you desire, you are in a transformed body, you don't fall sick. Can we have such a replication? For example, a situation whereby you CJ Idu, you just remain at the age of 33. You're not getting older, you're not getting younger, no sickness. Can we create such a reality here on earth? I'm just asking.
Okay, no, but I will also put that question back to you. Can you create that in heaven?
No,
What is
no,
the
I'm not. I'm
evidence?
not. No, 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 no. See, you are not supposed to ask me a question actually. You understand? So, but the point is, so when we mean heaven, that's what we are talking about. So, a place where you don't go old, you don't get weak, you don't fall sick. So, that is the realm of reality we're talking about. So,
But
now
that
the next
doesn't
question.
happen. That doesn't happen.
No, I understand when you say it doesn't happen. I'm not doubting you because we are all having different perspective to a certain information. So I appreciate your view. I'm not arguing with you. It may not be true to you, and I don't have issue with that. So, but the point here is this. The next question will be, on what ground will you classify Africa as hell as someone who is Pan-African?
Okay, thank you, Dada. I know why you're asking that, and to be honest, Africa is not in real terms hell. Only the hell has been created for us there, and I what I'm saying is that the people who decided to do that intentionally did that so that they can make sure that we are living in hell and they are living in heaven. That was what I mean. I don't mean that literally that Africa is hell, but what has been created for us in Africa is hell. They want us to live in hell, and they have been able to do that and maintain that for so long.
Ask a question.
Did you hear me? No?
Yeah, we can hear you now. She mute when she.
Did you not? Did people hear me the first time or not? Sorry. Okay, Dauda, so you didn't hear it. Or what I said is that I don't mean literally that outside Africa is hell. Africa is not actually hell, only that people have created hell for us there. They have made it an intentional thing to create hell for us. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. At one point you said, which I agree with you, is a fact. In Ghana, we have where slaves were being kept in a castle, and then there was a church on it. And you painted a picture that the heaven and hell was beaten into their head. Am I correct? Did I get that statement correct?
Yes.
Beautiful. Now, do we have European pastors who have the concept of heaven and hell? Have you met any European pastor, let's say in UK or in Canada or in US, for example, have you met any pastors that have the concept of heaven and hell?
You see,
no, yes or no?
No, I haven't.
No,
Wait. I haven't.
Okay, have you met any televangelist who is white, European, who preach heaven and hell? Have you?
They preach it mostly to black people. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So who beat that concept into their head? Who beat that concept into their head?
I think they know the truth. They only preach it to us because they want to keep us there.
No, because the picture you painted was that the reason why we had the concept of heaven and hell was because we were kept in a cage and these things were beaten into our head. So I was now wondering, the Europeans, the white guys who also have this concept, who beat those things into their head?
But you just said they are white guys as well.
That's what I'm saying, that if, for example, there is this adage.
How can the person guilty of the issue be the one to be beaten into? They were already the ones doing it. So why would they be beaten?
I'm not talking the method. I'm not talking about the method that was used. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not questioning that. But my problem is that this reality, heaven and hell, you made us understand that we actually have this reality because we are enslaved, and this concept was passed down to us through slavery. And you confirm that. Now I'm also saying that, do we also have Europeans who have this concept and the concept of heaven and hell? So who actually beat that concept into them?
Now that if you let me elaborate a little bit, you probably might get my point. Okay.
Please, I'll be very glad. I'll be very glad. Go ahead. I'll be very glad. Go ahead.
Thank you. The truth is this: when you're trying to experiment on something, the method you use the first time is different from the method you start using when you review that whatever process you're going through and you realize that you're already achieving what you want to achieve. You no longer have to use the first method. It gets better. It gets easier because now it's working. You don't need it anymore. The first time it was beating into our ancestors, those who were very strong into their own culture and they would not buy into that idea. So it has to be forced into them. But for us at this time, they no longer need to force it into us. Our own parents have bought the ideas. They have, they've made us do it. They've made us see that it is a good thing. It's comfortable. The Europeans of today don't need to do that. Do you understand? They don't need to use force anymore. They just need to tell us what we already know, reinforce it, and continue to make sure that we stay in it.
Let me help you out. You're making it look like before it was done, now it's not being done. Let me give you a parallel. One of the kings in Europe that wrote a letter for the enslavement of Africa was presumed, I'm not saying he's a Christian, Christians don't accept him as a Christian, but he was presumed to be a Christian, in indicating that as at when our ancestors were beaten to accept this concept of heaven and hell, we actually have white European guys who also believe the same concept. Correct. I don't know. Do we have? Can we go back to 400 years ago when our ancestors were being beaten based on how you gave us the narrative? We are being beaten to accept the concept of heaven and hell. Do we also have Europeans who have that same similar concept of heaven and hell? I just give an example.
You have to understand that, of course, there are people who were, I will even give you one example. Ireland was colonized by the British, and they were also taught Christianity just like we were. And in fact, you can Google it now yourself, that the Irish government is actually bringing the Catholic Church to court. They are in court because when they also used the same method that they used in Nigeria and some other countries for the Irish people, the Reverend Fathers used to beat people, used to force them to be learning this British culture while they were abusing people as well, abusing boys, altar boys, Reverend Fathers abusing altar boys. Huge abuse in the Christian culture here in Ireland many years ago. The Reverend Fathers and some men will impregnate the women and Reverend sisters, and then they will, if you get pregnant at that time because it was a sin, they will send you to a place called Mother and Baby's Home. Go and Google it for Ireland. They will send them there. The women will have the children, and then they will auction the children.
Ma'am,
They will sell
I
the
wish
children.
I have luxury of time.
I'm so
Ma'am,
sorry. I
ma'am.
just have to explain this to you, okay? Because after that happened, so Ireland was also, even though
some
they are
questions,
European
ma'am,
countries,
please.
they also got that. But now they have learned that those things were lies, so they've all moved on from that religion. So the white people, yes, they have people
what
who
I'm
were
trying to
gullible as
say-
well, who were
Yes.
taught the same thing, but they have moved on from it.
Question I've been asking is that even before our ancestors were being put into Christianity, based on how you've narrated, we also have Christians who believed in God, who believe in heaven and hell. Even right now, we have people who are reverting to Christianity. Europe's white guys are reverting to Christianity. I mean, converting to Christianity. The same thing that is happening in Africa is happening over there. But can I ask this question? Do you really think religion prevents people from working? Yes or no? We move ahead.
They cannot be a yes or no on something like this because it's not a black and white thing. It cannot be a yes or no on such question. It's not a yes or no question answer to that kind of thing.
Because you actually gave this narration that we should leave this religion so that we can create what the Europeans have done. Do you really think religion has actually been the reason why we are not creating what they have over there? Do you really think so?
90% yes.
Okay, fine. Let's have you actually looked at your educational system? From your educational system, do you really think the current educational system you're running in Africa, in Nigeria, can produce a competitive, an individual that can be competitive in any society with the current educational system you have?
No, because the Catholic Church brought that educational
I'm not talking
system to
about
us.
Catholic Church now. I'm not
No,
talking
they
about
brought
Catholic
no,
Church.
the religious people brought that educational
Are
system
they
to
still
us.
giving? Is the Catholic Church still giving your Minister of Education a scheme of works to teach the indigents? Is your Minister of Education, are they still receiving that from
Nobody,
Rome?
but the foundation have been done when we're in primary school and secondary school.
Exactly.
Did they not bring?
As
Did they
an
not bring
African,
Bible? Did they not bring Bible to all of us in secondary school?
the
Give your
problem is
Bible.
not the Bible. No,
Give
no,
your
wait.
Bible.
You are always blaming. See, the same Bible that was brought to Africa was even brought to Europe. Bible was already in Africa before it even went to Europe.
Not
But
the same.
point
Not the
is,
same concept. The concept was
okay,
different.
now, are you telling me the Bible in Europe that has 66 books is not the same thing we are reading here in Nigeria?
No, the way
Are
it
you saying
was
it's
preached was different. They were preaching it. They were not allowing you to really read it. They
I
were
agree.
preaching it.
You've confirmed that education is a major problem. Now, if you're given a platform, what topic or what subject do you think we can add to your current scheme of work that will elevate Africa or Nigeria, for instance? What topic will you bring?
So many. I will completely remove our theory, the way we do theories in Africa, and bring back the technical schools that we have. I will bring back in fact, I would discourage people from, oh, you have to read to be a doctor, read to be a this, read to be a that, and go into finding talent and skills right from childhood, teaching them interpersonal skills, teaching them teamwork.
Did the Bible or Quran, anyone you've read, did any of them tell you not to read this subject? Give me a verse from the Bible.
This is a layman. No. This your question is not. No. It doesn't even add up at all. What you're questioning doesn't add up. The Bible doesn't tell people. The Bible stylishly brainwash you into thinking that everything is in heaven for you, so you no longer think. And if you don't think, how
you
can
see that's having a wrong concept. You know what? You are the one having a wrong concept of. I'm sorry, I'm defending the Bible or the. See, the point here is this. I'm asking you. If you are given the platform where you can change the current subject we are having, you said this is what we are going to do. But I'm asking you, do you think the Bible, give me a verse from the Bible, give me a verse from the Bible where it says you can't do these things?
Dawuda, you are going to send 5,000 naira to my account. I'm going to give you 5 minutes now. The law was stated that immediately you exceed your time, you pay. So I'm giving you 5 minutes extra time, but make sure you send 5,000 naira to my account. Simple. Finish up with the meeting.
No problem. Yeah, CJ Idu, please, can you give me a verse where it says you can't do that? Please go ahead.
Why will I give you a verse of your Bible that I don't believe in?
I'm not a Bible actually. I'm not a Christian actually. But you were once a Christian, right?
Yeah, but I'm not interested.
Exactly.
In the Bible.
No, don't worry. Do you really think, for example, let's take Benue State or Kogi, these are one of the most poorest states you can find around within the Middle Belt. Do you really think our level of poverty is as a result of religion or as a result of insincerity and poor educational system?
Religion 80%, the rest 20%.
So and I've asked you, what has religion done to hinder progress in this society?
The problem
As
is
a
that
case
you don't,
study.
if I want to explain it, you say I shouldn't explain. So then that becomes a problem for me. Because the only way I can make you see it is for me to explain it. You know, the thing is that, tell me, my brother, I'm glad you're from there. Is it not in Idoma land that they have the highest level of praying places? Everybody's house is a church. Every time he's dancing about God, he's praying about God. Pastor Enenche makes billions of money building churches everywhere without building any factory. People that wakes up in the morning and all they do 5 days a week, 6 days a week is God. How are they even going to think? And we have seen data that matches the fact that places where people are more religious have the highest poverty rate. It is a proven data. It's out there. Everybody can see it. Idoma land, Benue as a whole, is consistently the poorest state in Nigeria at the moment, which is also backed
I
up
disagree
by
with
data
you, ma.
and the most praying
Places
place
where
in Nigeria.
I'm calling ma. Places with the highest religious activities are not seems to be the poorest place. For example, we have let's not even go. It's obvious. You can find it around. So it's not like places with the highest religious activities are deemed to be the poorest place. It's not true. The data are not supporting that. But however, if you come to Benue, they practice more of your mode of worship. If you bring 800 people from Benue State and Igala, for example, Idoma and Igala, they do ancestral worship. And the funniest thing is, and fact check me, go to the places where we have ancestral worship, they have the highest level of poverty as compared to where you have Christianity or mosques. You go around and check in Benue State. Go to Otukpo, go to Ida, Igala Kingdom, go to Abejukolo. You see where this mode of worship, where the ancestral worship, they have the highest level of poverty. Am I correct, ma?
I don't think so.